It's showtime. I need a 5x5. If you can do that real quick, that would be cool, as we're pretty much stuck if we can't get that. So if you're watching the replay, bear with us while we get this show on the road. And it's all about tomorrow in London, and it's not looking frigging good at all. In fact, it's starting to look like a perfect storm. So let's wait for that confirmation. Here we go. The first person is Time Lord that I can see. Thank you very much indeed. No worries, everyone else. You're all good. Right, okay. Now we've got that cleared up, we can actually get started. Welcome to 2,127 new subscribers in the last 28 days. Welcome aboard if you're new here. If you didn't already know, this, by fate or whatever you want to call it, has ended up being my full-time job. So, yes, I know it's not as easy as you guys think. So if you can donate to this channel, I really would appreciate it. All the things you're going to need to know about that are below this video. Click more or tap more, and it will all be there. I think it's PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, and Ko-fi. Those three things are real. Also, in the live chat, the normal stuff and super thanks and everything else is all on, and the chat replay is on as well. Not many YouTube guys enable the chat replay on the live streams. I don't know why. I feel like I'm the only one, because I want all of you guys who leave comments in the live chat to be seen by everyone who watches this video on the replay, and for very good reason, which we might dip into a bit later on as we go through this show. So if you wanted to, you can send me an email, because way back in the day, when I started my YouTube channel back in 2012, at that point in time, there was a thing called private messages. So you can contact YouTube content creators like myself privately. But that was all done away with a while ago. So if you wanted to give me a private message, the only way you can do it, it's not private at all. It's in the freaking chat or the comment section. But there is an email address below this video. Again, tap more, and all of that description box will pop open. So if you want to send me an email about all of the topics that we are talking about, I would very much like to hear from you. Not only that, we also have a mailing list, which is now up and running. And I'm trying to get the newsletters out every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's been a bit crazy because my life behind the scenes is turmoil. So it's very, very difficult to find time. So I'm going to hope to get some time next week and the week after. So we shall see. So yes, sign up to the mailing list. Now, the reason why we do that is because of the topics which I discuss on my channel. It has been known that other YouTube creators like myself have had their channels taken away, demonetized. I've had a few of them myself. Shadow banned. I think I'm on number 9. Shadow ban. So if something happens and I can't put videos out there because I've been banned for a week or something, I can still contact you guys via the mailing list. So if you haven't done so already, again, tap more under this video. The description box will open up and you click on that link, and all you need is a name and an email address. It doesn't even have to be your real name. Okay, then you will get the newsletter. Okay, so apparently 5,200 of you are already signed up to that, which is fantastic, and that number is growing, which is only a good thing. What else have we got? Someone wanted to know if I had a PO box, and yes, it's only a recent thing, but there is a PO box, and I do know that people like to send me stuff now and again, which is always amazing. I am aware that there is a few parcels waiting. I just haven't had chance to go and collect them. So if you are one of those guys and girls who have sent me something, I will be getting it at some point. And what I usually do to start off the live streams, I open them up like a mini unboxing whilst we wait for everyone else to join in on the show. So yes, the shipping address is below this video. Tap more. There it is. Next, we have a poll. Now, I'm going to dive into it quickly. 83. Right, what we've done is we've done a poll for tonight's live stream show. And the poll that I asked you guys to take part in is, should there be protests on Armistice Day? Yes or no? 83% of all of you who have voted, which, if I can see it, is, wow. Oh, yeah, 700 people, sorry, have taken part in that poll already, which is good because we're only 6 minutes into the show or thereabouts. So, yes, 83% of all of you said no. And I agree. I absolutely agree. Why would anyone want to do a protest on Armistice Day is beyond belief. In my opinion, of course, and you are entitled to yours too. Now, most of us know what armistice actually means. Okay, so to boil it down really quick, if you don't already know, Armistice Day is marking when the guns fell silent in World War I on the 11th hour. So every year on the 11th of the 11th of the 11th, okay, so the 11th month, the 11th day, and 11 o'clock. So all 11s, all times 3. I know some of you symbol hunters and all the rest of it is going to deep dive into that, but that's a whole new video. It really is talking about 11s and symbology. Okay, some of you guys are aware, some of you maybe are not, but let me tell you that on that day is a very sacred and special day, especially for the veterans of this country, like myself. And yes, some people says to me that you wasn't in the army. Well, here we are. There's a photograph of me back in the day. Let me tell you this, that was a long, long time ago. And here is my oath of allegiance as well. So yes, I did serve as a reservist, not a regular soldier, back in the day. So I've done my bit, and I know a hell of a lot of veterans who have not only been regular soldiers, but who have also seen combat as well. Okay, lots of friends. And the word around the campfire is there should never, ever be a protest on Armistice Day. It's absolutely off the menu. Why it's been allowed to happen, we can only question government. Okay, pretty much it. So with that being said, wow, look at that. We've got 1,168 people in the chat. We're going to get started real soon. So if you're watching on a replay, hang in there. Okay, we are going to be talking about lots of stuff, which is looking like a perfect storm in London tomorrow. We're talking central London, and then we're going to go through maps, times, organizations. It's not looking good at all, especially for the point of safety for citizens, which our prepping community, we need to make sure that us and our loved ones are safe. So if you live in Greater London or you're planning on going down there, there's a few things that you should be made aware of, and we're going to be talking about that over the next hour or so. So whilst we're on the subject of safety, we are going to look at the current threat levels. So we do this every single week. The security service MI5, if you didn't know, they literally take care of what's going on inside the UK. MI6 is outside the UK. So the current national threat level at the moment in England is substantial, as we can see there. Northern Ireland, it's severe. This has been that way for about a year now. It's not really changed. And if you don't know what the threat levels are issued by the MI5, here they are: low, moderate, substantial, severe, and critical. Okay. If we ever see critical, that is literally time to start getting something sorted. I'm not joking. We're talking bad times when that sort of thing comes out. So whilst we're still waiting for a few more people in the chat, what we all love to do is to find out where you guys are from and give you guys a shout out. So roll VT, and we're going to wait for some more to come into the chat. So who is going to be the first? Bearing in mind there's always a bit of a delay. Okay, so it looks like the first person is Julia from beautiful Malvern. Yes, that's where Jeff Boy's cars resides, I believe. We have got Sean is over there in Wrexham in North Wales. funny because Wrexham sounds like an English name to me, but it's actually in Wales. We've got Barbara over in Northampton. Hi, Barbara. And who else have we got? Esma over in Texas. Well, I heard there was a great big chemical fire in Texas, but Texas is such a big state. Apparently, if you've got every single living human being on planet Earth, you can fit all of them into the state of Texas. Yes, believe it or not. We have got Maxine over in Leicester. Awesome. Pamela Swan, one of the moderators from New Mexico, where the UFOs love to fly around. How's it going, Pam? Good to see you. Mark over in Ipswich, which is in Suffolk, obviously. We've got Alan in Staffordshire. We've got Shield Maiden, a regular viewer in London. Well, let's see what's going on in London. This is pretty much going to be interesting for you. And also John over in Kent. We've got the lovely Rachel in the Cotswolds. What a lovely part of the world that is too. We've got Nessa from Cornwall. And we've got Don't Tread on Me. Hi, brother. Northampton, veteran and errant. Wow. A veteran and an errant. That is a very rare thing. A very rare thing. So congratulations, dude. We got Dave over in Liverpool. Run to the woods. I'm from Newtown. Hey, bro. Michael over in Kings Lynn. We got Urban Druid over in Glastonbury. I love Glastonbury. Glastonbury and Bath. They got lovely vibes. So what have we got? Smith is over in Balham in London. James is in East Sussex. Wanjo is over in Leicester. We got David over in Bridgend. How's it going, David? We got Jeremiah over in Lancashire. And we got the wonderful London girl. How's it going, Kaz? Good to see you again in London, of course. We've got Lisa St. George in Utah, USA. We got Kitty up there in Durham City. We have got Binger from Michigan. Right. Lastly, we got UK survival and bushcraft tips over in Wiltshire. Right. We should really be getting on with the show. So apologies, I haven't read your where you are from, etc. We are literally running out of time. We got nearly 1,500 here already. Wow, cool. So it's going to kick off tomorrow. Make no bones about it. You have to be seriously naive to come from the viewpoint that everything's going to be fine tomorrow in London. Time will tell. Hopefully, I'm absolutely wrong. Actually, I hope I am wrong. The last thing I want to see is people getting hurt on Armistice Day for all days. That is just, I still can't get my head around that. They've chosen a frigging protest of up to 1 million people. 1 million people in London. Really? On Armistice Day? Dude, that fills my heart with sadness, just saying that. So let's see what we got so far. We have been doing some digging around online, and we have been answering emails, and we have been speaking to people in the Greater London area. And the stuff that we need to talk about is insane. Okay, so we are looking at a perfect storm tomorrow in London. There really, really is going to be a perfect storm. So who has heard of Football Lads Against Extremism? Apparently it's a thing. If I can find it, there was a picture circulating online, Twitter, I think it was one of the main ones. And it's basically calling for all sorts of different people. If I can find it, I will show you. Apologies for not getting it all ready and set up, but I did manage to get it on my phone, and it's pretty crazy. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it out. There it is there. I don't know if that's even going to focus. You can screenshot it if you like. All right. So What does this say, which has been circulating all over social media in the last 2 or 3 days now? Okay, so leading up to the main event, you are going to see lots more news publications pop up about this subject, which we're talking about in London for Armistice Day. So, football lads against extremism. I've never heard of it myself. Listen to this. Final call out to all football lads. The vets have reached out and asked for our support due to the threat from the far left and pro-Palestine supporters to disrupt Remembrance Day parade. We are calling on all football lads up and down the country to join us in standing shoulder to shoulder with our veterans that fought for our freedom. On Sunday, the 12th of November, we will be gathering at the Embankment Station from 10 a.m. We will be leaving there at 10:30 a.m. sharp and walking up to Charing Cross Station to meet with other firms coming from other parts of London. From there, we will walk in together to Whitehall for a minute silence at 11 a.m. Like the first 2 football lads marched in 2017, we ask anyone to walk in silence to show strength for our veterans. Please copy, paste, and share. Together, we are stronger. So that has been circulating all over the UK. So what's all that about? Basically, firms. If you don't already know, I know some of you guys are going to be in the chat. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So back in the day, you know, the bushwhackers, you got the headhunters, you got the 657. All of those guys, if you know what I'm talking about, are going to be there on Sunday. Now, there is rumours going around that they're also going on Saturday because lots of these people, especially with the London firms, are literally just going to be going there tomorrow. So, like I said, perfect storm. And we're going to touch on some more of that as we go through this live stream. But not only that, there's also other things circulating on Twitter, of all places. And I believe this went out on TikTok as well. I don't follow TikTok, but apparently lots of guys do. They are calling for bikers, paras, lorry drivers, taxi drivers, and mods. Who remembers the mods back in the day on their little scooters and Lambrettas? Yes, all of these groups are been chatting recently to organise to meet up tomorrow and probably Sunday too in London. So I only found out this earlier when I was watching a friend's live stream, Sui on Sui TV. Someone said on there that the tubes are closed tomorrow. So I decided to have a little look at that as well, because I didn't want it to be BS. And it does appear to be the case. So we are going to quickly show that now, just in case some of you guys are thinking of going. So this popped on the Metro earlier, okay? When was this? This was yesterday in the afternoon. And here is a map here. It's not a very good map. You can't enlarge it. But what I'm going to try and do is try to enlarge it to make it a bit easier for you guys. So let's see if I can pull that down. There we go. So all of these tube stations are going to be closed tomorrow. So anyone planning on going there is going to have a bit of a nightmare, to be frank. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but I'm going to endeavour to read them all out. Wherever my cursor is, that's where we are. Tube stations closed tomorrow. London Bridge, Southwark, Embankment, Charing Cross, Covent Garden, Temple, Blackfriars, Cannon Street, Morrison House, Holborn, Clanchley Lane, Farringdon, Moorgate, and Liverpool Street. All of these tubes are going to be closed tomorrow. So that was literally come out from London Transport. And indeed, here is a map of where it's going to be going. But we're going to be talking about that as we go through this live stream. It's pretty much going to be an information sharing stream. So, yes. tubes are going to be closed tomorrow. So if you are planning on going, really double think, double check what your route and all of that sort of thing is going to be. So if I can find it, we're going to be looking at the main event tomorrow. 1,780 people in the live stream. If you can, if you're watching this in a replay, can you please share this stream? Please copy the link and share it. Apparently, good places to share are Facebook, WhatsApp, and Telegram. Those 3 places, apparently, if I get shared on there, it helps get this video more reach. And anyone who's watching that on the replay can see all of you guys who are in the chat right now can see that. So we are going to hover over to the share screen and we are going to look at the area in question. So here we are. Here's the cenotaph right there. Okay. So there's Whitehall. If you didn't know, to the left, you've got Downing Street. Okay. So our Prime Minister's right there. Okay. So it's not really far from where all this is. Now, I suspect that the police are going to seal off this entire area tomorrow. And let me say this, if they do seal off this area, it is going to be literally lighting touch paper. So there is the cenotaph right there. Okay. So on Armistice Day, in my opinion, anyone has the right to go to this site and pay their respects. Okay. By laying a wreath, by standing there in silence, observing a minute's silence if they wanted to. But apparently this could be the first time. I don't really know. If you can let me know in the chat or the comments whether this has happened before, but I do feel that they are going to seal off this area. So it would make sense to have police along here and along here. So I believe that that's what's going to be happening. Obviously, this is sealed roads. We all know that. And if you come up here, sealing off this entrance as well. Okay, so I suspect that Whitehall, or most of it, is going to be sealed off. No one is going to be allowed to go in or out where the cenotaph is. So if we zoom out a little bit further, we can see St. James's Park. Now we're thinking of here, I think, where is it, if I can find it? Hyde Park. Now, somewhere around here is where the protesters are going to be starting their walk from. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on here, if I can find it, because I've been busy doing all of this. Right, here we go. So this is basically where it is. They are going to be leaving Hyde Park at 12:45. So obviously that's way past 11 o'clock. We'll talk about that more in a sec. So as they make their way through, they're going to be finalizing their march at the US Embassy south of the river, as you can see there on the map. And you can tell by the map where the cenotaph is located to the right of the screen. So do you feel that there's going to be no problems? All of these groups are going to be separated. There's not going to be any issues whatsoever. Have a look at that screen and let me know what you actually feel about that. I know. So 12:45, that's what time the official march is going to start. And obviously, excuse me, the minute silence is at 11 o'clock. But who's to know that loads of these protesters won't turn up early? And in fact, if you think about this, consider this, if you will. 1 million people all meeting at the same place at the same time. Sorry, not going to happen. People are going to be arriving there all sorts of times throughout the day. In fact, there's probably lots of them there already, standing in hotels, B&Bs, at friends' houses, etc. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Time will tell. What else have we got? So what we can sort of surmise by what is going to be happening tomorrow, it's going to be a fire button to bring in new laws. We're going to touch on that as we go through the stream, okay? So basically, what we are looking at here tomorrow in London is a trap. Yes, 100% a trap. And we're going to explain the reasons why I say that right now. So we have got instigators, okay? Instigators will join with patriots, okay? It's very, very easy to turn up to meet at a place looking like a patriot, waving the Union Jack, wearing a Union Jack t-shirt or whatever it is, having something to show people that they're British. Could be any number of things. The thing is, because of online social media, it's not like it is like it was back in the day, sorry. So back in the day, there wasn't any computers, there wasn't any social media. People would meet in pubs, public houses, okay? So people get to know people get to know who they look like. But with how it's all going now, with social media and online, people very rarely meet physically, okay? So who's to know that the people that you're going to be meeting up with, who's to know that any of those are going to be instigators paid for by hidden factions behind the scenes? Who can tell? So you've heard the term back in the day, rent-a-mob. Okay, rent-a-mobs have always had a piece in history with peaceful protests. Have you ever wondered why peaceful protests often turn into a riot situation? Have you ever wondered how that actually happens? Some of you probably watching right now in the chat or indeed on the replay will already be putting a comment in right now. You've probably seen it. Hell, you might have been one yourself. So all of these things are moving into play as we speak. So basically, the rent-a-mobs, they're going to be inside all of these groups and they're going to start fighting. Very easy to do. Walk up behind someone, give them a shove. When they turn around and start shouting at them, they'll push you back. Their friend will get involved, and all of a sudden, you've got a brawl on your hands. It's really easy to do. It's been happening for decades. It really has. So what we're going to see, there's going to be fighting. Now, all of the media and all of the police going to be there, okay? The cameras are going to be recording videos and taking pictures of as many things as possible. Now, some of us already know that London is probably the most surveilled city on planet Earth, more than Beijing, apparently. So we're talking about the size area of London, the population in that area, and the amount of cameras that are out in the public domain, on the public field, should we say. London tops it, comes first. It's got the most cameras. Add on to that, just say 1 million people did turn up and you had, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000 patriots from all different groups and veterans, etc., going as well. How many of all of these people are going to have a camera on their phone? I would say 80% of everyone there is going to have a camera. So you won't be able to get away without being on film or photograph from someone, from somewhere. It's a given, okay? So when you see people marching on protests and they have their faces covered, to me, that's a sign that they've got something to hide. Usually, people who hide their faces will get up to misdemeanors, hence, you know, concealing their identity. So always be on the lookout for that as well. Also, when you're talking about situational awareness, which we can talk about in another video if you want me to, always, if you are literally face to face with someone and you can't see their hands, they're in their pockets or behind their back, that person is now a threat to you. Gain your distance, step back. Okay, that's my advice, because so many times people allow someone to get right up close to them when their hands in their pockets, they can't see, and they wondered why they're bleeding all over the place all of a sudden. It happens, and it happens a lot in London too. Okay, that's fact. It's terrible, but you know, in this day and age, that's exactly what's been going on. So all of these cameras and stuff are going to be recording. Now, how many times have you seen protests, especially the ones back in 2020, right? When the police were there, the police seem to have their own video department within their police stations, etc. So they've got loads of police in riot gear or whatever it is, and then you've got other police who are just there video recording everything. Now, why is that? Obviously, I would guess for evidence capture. Okay, if there's any wanted people, if they video everything, etc., etc. Plus, you're going to have some officers wearing body cameras. So the bottom line is, there's going to be lots of cameras taking lots of footage. Now, I would like to guess that lots of people know how this game works, but if you don't, we're going to go into it. Okay, so how I see this going tomorrow, it's going to kick off. It's going to be instigated by renter mobs infiltrated within all of the groups who are going to be in attendance. And we're going to go through the groups in a minute, so stay tuned. Okay, so what we could be seeing all of next week in the mainstream media is going to be a headline very similar to this. Now, would you like to have a guess what the headlines are going to be after this weekend? I think we could see headlines like how Armistice Day was ruined by the far right. Let that sink in. So we all pretty much know, because we are an aware prepping community. We're not just preppers. Lots of us are aware or awake, if you want to use that term. Okay, so lots of us know roughly how the game works. And yes, we are taking part in a big game, if that is some way to describe what I'm talking about here. So what they want to do is to take as much raw footage as possible. Then they're going to be working their bums off all over the weekend, editing big time. And do you know what they're going to do? They're going to edit certain sequences of events, certain photographs, and they are going to be the ones shown all over social media and all over the mainstream media about the far right turned up against the peaceful pro-Palestinian protest and caused trouble, making it a really bad experience for veterans who was in the vicinity, some of them selling poppies and all of that sort of thing. That's what I envisage the mainstream narrative to be after this weekend. So we're just dropping into the comments now. Not right, not far right, just right. Do you know, I've said that. I've seen that a few times now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it? So who remembers back in 2020 when you had the anti-lockdown protests? Yes, I remember. I recorded hundreds of hours of footage from all of these protests. Do you know why? Because in a sense, I'm a bit like my dad. I'm a bit of a historian. Okay, a historian is going to try and capture key turning points in history. And if you believe that from 2020 till today, nothing really significant has happened historically, you, my friend, are seriously deluded in capital letters. So much history has happened since 2020 until today. It's ridiculous. But here's the thing. Now, this is the key thing why I enable the chat replay on all of my live streams. Not many YouTube content creators do that. Ask them why they don't do that, because I do. I find out how to do it. I check the box to make sure every single one of you watching this in a replay can still see the live chat. Now, the live chat is incredible. Already we got 2,118 people right now in this chat room. And all of you guys watching now who are taking part in the chat, feel free to post whatever you want about your thoughts and feelings about this weekend. But all I ask is for you to comment respectfully. Okay, if you're going to be in there upsetting people, whatever it is, or goading people, the moderators in there, they don't take no poo. They will just get you out of the way. you'll be put into a little timeout. And if you carry on being naughty, this is going to block you. Simple as that. Okay. So 2020. Yes. Like I said, the reason why I recorded all of that is because if you was to look in the mainstream media all through 2020, guess how much coverage there was about the anti-lockdown protests? Hardly any. But if you've got live streams and all of these videos recorded of what actually happened in London with the 2020 anti-lockdown protests, it paints true history, which is what me, Jason from Archaics, we're all trying to find out what's really going on, do videos, create content to ensure that these historical times are being recorded. They're not being edited or deleted from the mainstream. This is raw truth. What you are seeing in the chat room and in the comment section under this video and on the replay is the thoughts and the feelings of the people living in these times, okay? And yes, I'm fully aware that there's going to be trolls, there's going to be agenda-paid idiots in chat and in the comment section, but I'm pretty sure when you've got a brain and you work through all of the comments in the chat, that the overwhelming majority are genuine people like myself and many others talking about what's really going on in this country. And let me tell you, since 2020, a hell of a frigging lot has gone on. So 2020, why did I mention that? Who remembers crisis actors? Yes, crisis actors. If you don't know what that means, if you're a bit late to the party, well, there was loads of video footage shown on the mainstream trying to emphasize, accentuate certain points, pro-agenda points, I hasten to add. So you had actors pretending to be victims or something, but they was literally hauled up and found out, publicly shamed, crisis actors. There's going to be lots of crisis actors in London tomorrow. There's going to be lots of instigators for violence at the protests tomorrow. And I believe that they're going to be on both sides. So mainly you've got the pro-Palestinian protest and you've got the far right, whatever that means. We're going to go into a bit of that as we go on. But let me just check. Right, so if I can find it, I want to show you guys this. Right, look at this. The Metropolitan Police to ring fence the cenotaph and arrest pro-Palestinian protests who gather nearby. So I've highlighted this report, as you can tell here. More than 2,000 officers from the Metropolitan Police and other UK forces will be on duty. Now, reread on. The force said on Friday, so that's today, an exclusion zone will be set up around the cenotaph, meaning any pro-Palestinian protesters who try to assemble close by to it will be arrested. It will deploy 1,850 public order officers on Saturday and another 1,375 on Sunday. So, public order officers, we are talking riot police. We're not talking your average copper like this guy here, standing on the cenotaph, 1, 2, 3, 4, guarding the cenotaph. Unbelievable. So the police have set up exclusion zones covering the cenotaph, Whitehall, Horse Guards Parade, the Westminster Abbey Field of Remembrance, and other relevant areas. So exclusion zones. Also, when I showed on the map earlier, it's not going to be Whitehall. There's going to be more than that, because when you look at Horse Guards as well, up to the right-hand side, and Westminster Abbey Field, that's quite intense what they're going to be trying to do. An exclusion zone will be put in place covering Whitehall and the Cenotaph to prevent demonstrators on the march from entering the locations. Deputy Assistant Commissioner Lawrence Taylor. Right, what does Lawrence have to say? Mr. Taylor said, in quote, this has been highlighted for a reason. I have been a public order commander for 10 years. So public order, riot police. He's been a riot police commander for 10 years. And this is probably one of the most challenging weekends I think I'm going to have in terms of the various tensions playing out. It's certainly one of the biggest we've had. So be under no illusion, you idiots who think this is clickbait and fear porn. This is in quote. Okay, we really do need to take heed. Now look at this, far right demonstrators. Unbelievable. So we spoke about this before on some videos, okay? Far right. Let me see, shall we? Yeah, we're going to end with that. So stay tuned to the end of this live stream, okay? But also what I wrote down, which I just remembered here, not only is there going to be a pro-Palestinian protest, try saying that too fast, tomorrow. Guess what house is happening in central London tomorrow on the same day? There's going to be, wait for it, a Just Stop Oil protest as well. Yes, in London tomorrow, a Just Stop Oil protest will be happening somewhere to disrupt as much as they can to get their ridiculous little message out there. But not only that, we've got the Lord Mayor's Parade as well. So Sadiq Khan, you know, the most favorite, most loved, revered and respected person in the UK, has got a special parade tomorrow in London. So if you was in charge of the police and you was trying to make sure that you tried to limit as many incidences as possible, what the hell would you do? Where would you start? Unbelievable. Dave, you're absolutely right, mate. You're absolutely right. But we're going to get onto all of the far right stuff and a bit about Khan after we've actually said these things here. Okay, so what I believe, what all of this is all about. Okay, now this is just my opinion, and I'll be very interested to hear what you think about my opinion in the live stream, in the live chat, and in the comment section. Now, I'm looking at all of this as divide and conquer. Okay, they do fantastic jobs dividing people, don't they? They do fantastic jobs putting people in boxes, putting labels on people for all sorts of different things. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings and we've all got blood inside us. We are all the same. We've all got a skeleton, we've all got 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs. Most of us, I'm sorry if you've been upset by that, but you know what I'm saying. We're all the same. Doesn't matter what color our skin is either. That's another thing. But who has heard the term problem, reaction, solution? Now, let me know in the chat section if you know what I'm talking about there. Sorry, I might stand corrected. The Lord Mayor is not Sadiq Khan. He must be the Mayor of London instead. So, apologies if I've put that out there. Thanks for correcting me, whoever you were. I'll always put my hands up if I've made a boo-boo. But problem, reaction, solution, cool. Right. So, here's what I think. Based on checking out the online chatter leading up to this weekend, all week and today. Like I said, this is my full-time job now. So, I don't get no benefits. Oh, wow. Thank you to Full of Hope, Lisa, Footprints, and Keith as well. Oh, Footprints, a member as well. Awesome. Do you think because everyone is in London, it won't kick off in other parts of the UK? That's an interesting point. I did hear that there are other marches going on over the UK. I did hear that there was one planned in Birmingham, but I haven't heard any more about that. And Keith as well. Thanks for donating, sir. And yeah, hit the like and share. Yes, well done, Keith, a member as well. Thank you very much. Yes, if you can share the video and like it, that really helps. So, problem, reaction, solution. So, listen to this. These are my own words I wrote earlier. Using the false flag attack on Israel as an excuse to run weekly protests around the Western world, not just in the UK. Okay, I think most of us are aware that there are similar lines along where this agenda is going, and it's all about the West. So Europe, UK, America, and Canada. Nowhere else. Why the West? There's definitely an agenda, isn't there? There's definitely an agenda. You've got to be crazy not to see that one at least. So, attack on Israel as an excuse to run weekly protests around the Western world at the same time as crime rates soar with the mass influx of fighting age male-only migrants. Okay, this combined with the government's mouthpiece, the mainstream media, to fan the flames on both sides. Like I said, divide and conquer. Dividing people, two sides. That's all you want. For and against, whatever it is that they create, people are going to fight over it. People are going to take sides. And they're going to fan the flames on both sides too. So, UK patriots and the pro-migrant left. If you want to really sort of pick two groups, okay? That's what they're saying. So, choosing Armistice Day to stage a 1 million strong protest not far from the cenotaph will ignite a fire that the police are outnumbered and unable to contain. So that's the problem, okay? That is the problem which someone who has created it. Now, problem, reaction, solution. So we're going to go on to reaction now. So using human emotions as they as their preferred method of manipulation, the mainstream media will get the public's reaction. Problem, reaction, then a solution. All groups have and will be infiltrated by renter mobs to get the desired reaction. Extreme violence, and all the cameras and reporters will be there recording. Like I said earlier, once all of the raw footage of the violence has been edited, it will be presented to the public as right-wing thugs ruin Remembrance Day. This will get the public reaction that it's bad stroke wrong to be a British patriot, totally agenda bias. Now that's my term, which if you start seeing it everywhere, I'm probably the first to start that. Agenda bias. And it's exactly what we're seeing. Everything is biased to this agenda. Even AI, ChatGTP, whatever it is, that is heavily agenda bias. So that was the problem. That's the reaction which is going to happen. And here's going to be the solution to the problem which they created by dividing everyone, using the mainstream media to fan the flames, to get everyone riled and wound up to hate each other. They've been using the mainstream since, what, the 1900s, 1800s, in the press and the newspapers. Very powerful bit of kit. Now it's online. You can share this stuff with graphic videos and everything else. So the solution: to bring in a new, more draconian law to make it illegal to protest, say anything negative about these topics. Okay, so you need to lose the fear. Okay, forget all about the labels which are put on people saying about things like this. So after this, there will be some laws coming out saying about protesting. All right, they really are going to stamp on it. And why not use the 11th of the 11th at 11 o'clock? If you don't already know numerology and the power of numbers, the Freemasonic fraternity regards the number 11. I suggest you look into it. I know most of you are aware, so you don't need me to tell you anymore, but there's some new people. I think there's 2,500 who joined in the last 28 days, might not know about that. So if you're new to all that information, some of the guys might help you out in the chat. But anyway, so say anything negative about these topics: Islam, Muslims, Jews, migration, integration, government policy. Anyone speaking out about any of those topics, right, could be arrested, fined, and or detained. Why do you think they're building 5 massive smart prisons all over the UK? They're going to need places to put people who disagree with their agenda. And their agenda is they want everyone poor and they want everyone rounded up into cities and controlled in every single frigging way you can possibly imagine. We are talking micromanaged massively. That's what they ultimately want. They want everyone in cities under control, poor as hell, and just literally just sucking the data out of them. Don't forget, data is the new gold. Data is the new currency. Okay, cash money hasn't been backed by gold for a long time. You know all this. So yes, think about that. That's what could be the solution to the problem which they created in the freaking first place. So another victory for the agenda of eventually complete control over human beings, pretty much what I just said, all for your safety. Unbelievable. So Carl, thank you for that donation on PayPal, sir. Very kind. So what we're going to do, after speaking about that, we need to show you stuff backing up what I'm saying. Right. We are going to share the screen and look at this now. Look. This come out today. See the date. 11:20 today. So this morning, this was released publicly. Remembrance weekend to see football hooligans and far-right thugs. What is a far-right thug? Look at this. Now, here we go. We have done a bit of a deep dive on these guys before. Some of you regulars to the live streams will concur what I'm going to talk about now. Hope, not hate. An anti-extremist group. Okay? We know about hope, not hate. So, far-right thugs, migrant hunters, and organised football hooligans are set to descend on London this weekend to defend the cenotaph. I think that's pretty much all we need to conclude with that. So it is already been stoked. The fire is already being stoked over the cenotaph. So, hope not hate. We have heard about this before, and we have talked about this before. Of course we have. Now, you need to look into this guy, Nick Lowles. This character, if you want to call it that, right? Anti-fascists, etc. It is just incredible. So, followers or following. So the people that Nick is following, hope not hate. See, he is basically the guy who set it up. Now you can look into all of these characters on here. Anti-fascism and far right. Lots of unsavory fucking groups here from all sorts of walks of life. So, like I said, we did do a bit of a deep dive on this. I don't want to go back. But yeah, when you see the people, unbelievable. So look, these are the sorts of followers. You want people to wear the mask, people to take that, people to be in Europe, and people to support Ukraine. These people are literally making this crazier. Look at this, not brainwashed. Look, he's got the Palestinian flag. Really. Unbelievable. So that is Hope Not Hate. It's Nick Lowles, ladies and gentlemen. So about fascism. Whoa, so they're against fascism, are they? Okay then. Let's check that out then, shall we? Here we go. This is from the Oxford Reference. Look, here it is. Fascism. An authoritarian and nationalistic right-wing system of government and social organization. The term fascism was used of the totalitarian right-wing nationalist regime of Mussolini in Italy. So basically, if you speak out against the government, they want to put you in the same box as Mussolini. Are you absolutely off your cheese? Really? Are you off your... If you believe that, you'll believe anything. Seriously believe anything. So, like I said, problem, reaction, solution. Now, who remembers this, which came out this year? The Public Order Bill, okay? This was updated a few months ago in August of this year. So this basically come into law on the 3rd of May. There it says there. So here we go. These new measures are needed to bolster the police's powers to respond more effectively to disruptive and dangerous protests. Over recent years, guerrilla tactics used by a small minority of protesters have caused a disproportionate impact on the hard-working majority seeking to go about their everyday lives. Costs millions in taxpayers' money and put lives at risk. This has included halting public transport networks, disrupting fuel supplies, preventing hundreds of hard-working people from getting to their jobs. Protesters such as these removes police from their regular duties tackling crime in local communities. So basically what we're seeing is things are a little bit different now with that new act. If you don't understand, watch tomorrow. Now, I was hoping to try and cover what is going on tomorrow via a live stream. So I was going to set up here and turn myself into like a news center, constantly gathering, cheers, Faye, as much up-to-date information and try to share all snippets of live streams. But something's come up and I can't do it. I'll need to see my son tomorrow, so that's not going to happen. But I was just being told by my dear friend Faye that it's that time again. So if you don't know what that means, Uncle Henry. Yes. I do like Uncle Henry, I must admit. So, going to propose a toast, right? This is a bit early. This is going to be for every veteran watching this live stream, whether it's a repeat or live. This is a toast to every single veteran here in the UK, but not just in the UK, around the world. I know in America you got what's called Veterans Day. Okay, so our Veterans Day is this Sunday, but it's Armistice Day tomorrow. Okay, everyone, in my opinion, who lives in the UK at 11 o'clock should stop for 2 minutes and remember all of those brave soldiers who are no longer here, trying their best to make sure that their kids, their grandkids, their great-grandkids had a much better standard of living and freedoms than what was available back in the day when Nazi Germany threatened to take over the world. Here's to all veterans out there. Cheers. Good shout, Faye. Thanks for reminding me, darling. So, apparently, Sadiq Khan. So he is the Mayor of London, not the Lord Mayor of London or something. London's messed up, innit? Who the friggin' hell is... Do you know what? The more I say them words, Sadiq Khan, the more I see in my mind's eye that slimy, no good, untrustworthy, 12th deck sandwich eating, greasy, lying, cheating, hideous, bloody, unpopular at school, bloody idiot who apparently thinks he's in control of London. You're funny. Well, let me think. Oh yes, the Blade Runners have a different opinion about your seemingly high position of authority in London. Why does Sadiq Khan need all of that security? Well, so many people don't like him. So yes, he's going to have a lot of security. If he was justly elected by the people of London, he wouldn't really need that much security, because he should, as Mayor of London, be able to walk around anywhere he wants without security, because everyone's voted for him and everyone respects him. So what have we actually got? We have got a lying she-star who no one really likes. So yes, sorry about that, but that's my opinions, which I'm entitled to say about Sadiq Khan. Personally, I don't like him. You want to like him, that's entirely up to you. But apparently, on social media, there was footage of him saying Armistice Day should be moved. Apparently, that is a deep fake. Wow. Now, who remembers that live stream I done? Was it last week or the week before when I was at GCHQ? Yes, when I done that live stream right outside, talking about the Online Safety Act, previously the bill. So yes, I said that in that live stream that we are going to see deep fake on social media. Very, very, very convincing. Very convincing indeed. Now, it looks like that this could be the first public deepfake in history in the UK. I could be wrong. If you know anything that contravenes that, can you let me know in the comment section or in the chat, or send me a video, because to my knowledge, I think that could be the first deepfake. Now, we spoke about this on the live stream, like I said. Now, there is technology out there, and there's been technology out there for some time now. Just because it's not in the public view, it doesn't mean to say it exists or not. Now, where I'm going with is deep fakes are going to be more used. In fact, we might even see some deep fakes coming out about tomorrow. It's very, very, very easy to put Tommy Robinson's head on a protester punching some Palestinian woman. It's very, very easy to do that with computers now. And Joe Public wouldn't even know if it's true or not. They'll probably just believe it, because what are we brainwashed at school? Seeing is believing. No, seeing isn't believing. If you've watched The Matrix and you understand, and that's a documentary, not a film, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say seeing is believing. Don't believe everything that you see. Moreover, deep fakes. Deep fakes are going to be used a lot. And we are going to see an introduction of that. We might just have had that actually with that one about Sadiq Khan saying that he thinks Armistice Day should be moved to make way for this pro-Palestine protest. How dare he say that? Apparently, it's been proved that that's been faked. So someone has literally recorded hundreds of hours of Sadiq Khan talking, run that through a computer software program, and literally just typed in a script, and the intelligent, clever software program said whatever you type in, and it sounds like it's actually him. So apparently that's been proved. I don't know if it has, but it's just what's been coming out, that that was a deep fake. So we really need to be switched on now. Like I said, I can see this happening. I didn't realize it'd be the week or two after I said that, but we are going to be seeing that a lot. So you guys really need to pay attention of what you see on social media. Okay, anytime you see something, a video, a short clip usually, don't instantly judge it. Okay, watch it, take it in, process it, and then try to debunk it if you've got time. Don't take it at face value, because this is exactly what they want. They want people to be triggered. They want people to see something. And let me tell you this, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that a deepfake video can be made to prop up whatever part of the agenda which they are following as a script, pretty much. It's not that hard to do. And they are fully aware that more people watch social media than they do watch television. Okay, hardly anyone watches television these days. And in fact, if you watch television now and you think you are aware, no, I'm sorry to tell you this, but anyone who watches mainstream television on a regular basis, in my opinion, is wasting valuable time, because you're not going to give yourself time and opportunity to research, to try and figure out just what the hell is going on and how we can best prepare for this as a prepping community, because after all, that's what we need to do. But I think that these deep fakes, we're going to see more of them. And like I said, it might even be possible that we are going to see some of that from tomorrow's footage. Like I say, I can't remember the name of it, but some of you in the chat will probably let me know that any of you guys who play computer games and stuff, there's a new something, Generation 5 or something like that, which they can literally make CGI look almost real. So what you're going to find is the majority of guys and girls who play computer games on a regular basis will see that it's fake. But not everyone plays computer games. I don't. I stopped playing computer games when I was 18. I grew up. But I do know that lots of people still play them. And it's entirely up to you. It's your life. But lots of people don't play computer games. Therefore, they won't be able to spot whether some footage, whether it's social media or the mainstream media, is fake or not. Now, that is a serious problem, because if you create something, a deep fake, and you are proper connected, there's no reason why you are not going to be in a position where you can arrange for that deep fake video to go viral. Easy peasy. You look at Meta, the guys who apparently own Instagram, for example, okay, the algorithm, etc., etc. Now, if you was connected, you can get whatever video to go viral. You just run it through them, and they will put it into the algorithm to make sure that that deep fake video goes to every single person who's got a social media account with Instagram, for example, who has used certain hashtags to promote their own posts. So any sort of hashtags, prepping, cenotaph, or migrants, or energy crisis, or whatever it is, anyone who uses certain hashtags, they can put them in, and that particular video will go to anyone who's uploaded or searched for certain hashtags. They will make sure that all of those people will get that viral video in a suggested feed. Now, how many of you get really peeved off with suggested videos? Suggested, oh, we think based on what you've been watching, you might like to watch this. Well, do you know what? Whoever put that into that program, eat this. We don't want to be told what we think we might like. We are adults. We should be able to find out that ourselves, shouldn't we? Should we really need someone or a frigging computer program to tell us what we might like to watch? Winds me up. I don't know about you. I like to live as free as I possibly can. And the last thing I want is some idiot bloody program telling me what I might like. Go do one. That's what I say. Rachel Gregory, suggested videos suck. You're not wrong. So, like we said earlier, hope, not hate. What about Antifa? What about Just Stop Oil? What about Extinction Rebellion? What about Black Lives Matter? Well, let me tell you this. All of those groups which I've just mentioned are going tomorrow. Yes. They are going tomorrow, and they're all going to be walking with their brothers in the pro-Palestine march, the 1 million strong march on Armistice Day here in the United Kingdom. So, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that the pro-Palestine march is going to take place exactly where that route is? Do you honestly think that 1 million people are going to meet at Hyde Park? Could you fit 1 million people in Hyde Park? I doubt it. Plus, where are all the coaches going to park? All the train stations are going to be heaving. They've already closed the tube stations. Where the hell are all these people going to meet up? And how the hell is that going to be organised in such a fashion where they just follow each other walking down the road? Look at that map, right, from Hyde Park. Look right at the top. Then look at all of the tiny little side streets coming off of that red line. There's about 60 already. So who's to say that certain members are going to meet up, they're going to walk along with that march, and they're just going to disappear in their little groups of 10 or 12 or 8 or 4 or whatever it's going to be, down those side streets and meander down towards the cenotaph, knowing full well that there's going to be lots of veterans and patriots there who are being dubbed by the mainstream media as right wing. Yes. How does it make you feel being dubbed right wing? We spoke about this. I know lots of you regular guys will know and back me up that I've talked about this for a while now. Wow, Lisa, thank you for that donation. I've got to read this out. Thank you, Funky Prepper from Alabama, USA. Thank you for your continued service. This is for you and all veterans who have served and continue to protect the UK and the US from the evil forces that have been around since time immemorial. Wow, Lisa, that is fantastic. Thank you so much for that donation and that message as well on PayPal. That's really cool. And yes, if you literally just joined the stream, that was me back in the day. A young funky there with my SLR back in the day. So yes, we've all done our own bit in our own way. And who remembers national service back in the day? Yeah. Who would like to see national service come back? Do you think that's a good idea? When we think of the youngsters, and I know this is wrong, and I know this is stereotyping and possibly generalizing, but not every young person is a snowflake. Okay, they're not. It's pretty much like racism as well. Okay, not every black person is a thief. Not every white person hates black people. Do you know what? There's good and bad in everyone. Who remembers Paul McCartney saying that? It's true. There's good and bad in everyone. There really is. And if you don't believe me, then you've fallen into the trap and you've allowed yourself to be programmed by whoever's running the show. You've literally walked straight into that trap. Now, not all cops are you know what, I'm going to say ACAB. Okay, not all police are bad. All right, not all Muslims are bad. Not all Christians are bad. Not all Jews are bad. So where does that leave us? Yes, the majority of everyone on the planet are good people. I don't know what the percentage are on the planet who are truly evil people. I would say anything up to about 8%. And that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Okay. If you think it's more than 8%, I don't know. From every time I go out, if it was more than that, you're going to be seeing fighting and violence every time you look somewhere. Well, it's not the case. Not yet, anyway. But we could spiral into that scenario if we don't do the right thing. Now, do you know what the right thing is? Just say no. That's it. It's a small 2-letter word, but it's got more significance than you could possibly imagine. I done a video a while ago, about a year ago, maybe 6 months, I already don't know. And it was called Start Saying No. If you haven't seen that, I'll suggest you go into YouTube, type in Funky Prepper space Start Saying No. And then the video will come up. It's only for 10 minutes or so. But that done really well. That had like 60,000 people watch that. And I think it's poignant because look how us as a nation have arrived where we are now. The only way that we have possibly managed to arrive where we are now with all of this stuff going on is because of what? Not enough people have said no. Too many people have said yes. So go back to when you was at school. Do you remember the prefects? And if you're a prefect watching this, well, listen, the overwhelming majority of people at school didn't really like prefects. Prefects were deemed as little goody two-shoes, little grasses, little people who like to suck up to the teachers and give the teacher an apple and all of that sort of thing. A brown nose, ass kisser, all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, prefects. Exactly. So all Grange Hill. Can't remember Grange Hill. Isabel, good to see you from Landod. Excuse me. Cheers. So yeah, not everyone is bad. So as hard as it seems, all of the people going into this pro-Palestinian march, I just say, for argument's sake, that 1 million people turn up. That's one with 6 noughts. It's a big frigging number. It's a lot of people. I remember 1 million people protested back in 2005, I think it was. No, it's before that. In London about the Iraq War. Yes, 1 million people said they didn't want UK involved in a war with Iraq. And they still went ahead and done it. So what do protests actually do? Answers on a postcard. I'll tell you what it does. If you look at it from societal terms, it allows people to vent steam. The powers that be using the mainstream media as their main mouthpiece and tool of manipulation. They know that they can get a human being into that zone of fear. Make them scared. Yeah. Problem, reaction, solutions. Create all these problems. They're more than capable of creating problems anywhere. They're masters at it. They've been creating problems for thousands of years. This isn't just a recent thing. This sort of level of control has been going on pre-Roman times. Yes, a son of a bitch long time ago, actually. So yes, we are literally being controlled. Take, for instance, the mainstream media. Have you ever wondered how many mainstream news outlets there are and how they're all connected? Associated Press, Reuters, BBC, etc. Now, if you track through those companies, look who owns what. Look where the money comes from. you trace it right back, there's only very few people who run all of the news networks. So they basically control all of the information that you think you know, which is one of the reasons why there's people like me and many other reporters going through these times, trying to expose and find out what's actually going on, to share it out there to as many people as possible. Now, we are fighting pretty much a losing battle, because I myself have been shadow banned. I've made videos and they've been demonetized. So for me trying to make a living on YouTube, and I get my videos and they turn the money off, or I can't earn any money, it's been really hard. So you guys who have been kind enough to donate really help more than you can imagine, because I do this by myself. I haven't got a team. I haven't got anyone. It's just me. So I'm the director, the producer, the researcher, the freaking grip man, whatever it is. I do everything myself. And it's very difficult to try and find time to sift through all of the information. And let me tell you, there's a lot of BS out there. There is a hell of a lot of BS. The amount of emails that I get. Now, what makes it difficult for me receiving an email from anyone is the email is too long. So if you look at a phone screen and it's full up with small text, if you've got like 15 screens full of text, I just haven't got time to read it all. Some people just send me a link to a YouTube video, nothing, no writing or anything. I haven't got time to watch videos with links. If you really want to send me an email to help, please can it be something that you've experienced or someone that you trust has experienced? Real live intel. I'm not interested about all of these TikTok links and God knows what else. Most of it has proved to be BS anyway. So like I said, it goes back to the deep fake stuff. This stuff is getting more and more to the point where it's going to be unleashed. And when they start releasing that deep fake stuff, they are going to have us fighting with each other like big time. Now, like I said, if you do stuff like I do and you get shadow banned. So what's shadow banned? Well, I can only speak for my experience. There's probably other equivalents of such a heinous act. Now, so far, what's happened to me is people can't hit the thumbs up. There's no thumbs up there, or when you click on it, it doesn't go black or anything like that. It doesn't change. They've been a subscriber for a few years. They go and check, and they're no longer subscribed. When they did subscribe, they checked the notification bell was set to all notifications, and they found out that the bell's not even been checked. All of that's been going on, but not only that, guess what? Some comments have been deleted. And do you know what? The same thing happened to me earlier. I watched some video, some news-related video, and I left a comment, and when I went to see it, it was gone. And I went newest comments first, and the nearest one was like 3 hours ago, and mine was literally 10 seconds, 20 seconds. It wasn't there. So be under no illusion. The threat of shadow ban is very real, and it is happening to me. The amount of times that I put videos out there and the views have been right down, no one's getting to see them. Not everyone shares the video, which is a shame. If you can share the video, it really helps, because YouTube is doing their best to shut people like me and many others, to really shut them up. And it's a pain in the jacksy. Gloria, thank you for that on PayPal. That's very, very kind. So, yes. So where do we stand? All for our safety. So let me see. If I can show you this. This is what was being searched earlier on X. Okay. This was an hour ago now. Oh, there we go. It's just been updated. So this is all of the stuff. If you look under the term cenotaph, what people are talking about. Okay. So look, police can arrest any Palestine protesting on this exclusion zone. So we talked about exclusion zone earlier. It's now being put out there from the mainstream into social media, which is a commonplace thing. Counter protests, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, there's more. Oh man, that makes my blood boil. Look at that. That is a symbol of democracy, apparently, covered with all of these lunatics here. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. And here we see the police guarding the cenotaph. with the colours. You see the colours there, the flags. Look at that. So you've got Union Jacks, police, and the cenotaph all there. So the police are protecting patriots with flags against these evil, disgusting hate mobs here. I do not like what this is here. It is fueled and funded by seriously bad, corrupt, violent organizations. That's my own take on it. But like I said, not everyone in this picture has cruel intentions. There's a lot of people in there who have been absolutely manipulated, brainwashed, jumped on the bandwagon because it's the latest fashionable thing to be a part of. There's a lot of innocent people here, but what we see inside this group is infiltrated, it's pro-Hamas, it's a very, very sinister bunch, should we say. Wow, what have we got here? Trafalgar Square and the cenotaph. Wow. Look at this. Armistice Day events, pro-Palestine march, the Lord Mayor show, football lads against extremism. So here is quite cool. We can actually see what is going on tomorrow. This is quite good that this is dropped into the feed, actually, because it does show you football lads against extremism. So yeah, they're basically going to there, Trafalgar Square, and then going towards the cenotaph. But the thing is, as we've been finding out, it looks like the cenotaph is literally going to be an exclusion zone. So the football or the firm lads are not going to be able to get access to anywhere near the cenotaph. So what's that going to do? It's going to really wind them up. And if any of these pro-Palestinian marches down this line, if they start straying off and coming around here, and some of these lads go there, they can't go now, and they start bimbling around, there's a chance in these areas here, there's going to be clashes. Look what's right in the middle of the two. Buckingham Palace. Wow. Are we going to be seeing scenes of violence outside the gates of Buckingham Palace? Who knows? Look at that, a dispersal zone. All of this. These are the exclusion zones. So yes, we're looking at this area here. That's an exclusion zone. So we are looking at Cenotaph, Downing Street, all of that block pretty much. The whole lot's going to be sealed off. So what do you think that's going to do to people who want to pay their respects anywhere near the Cenotaph tomorrow? It's not going to go down well at all. It really, really isn't. Yeah, I do believe we are going to see some really bad scenes tomorrow. Bless them. So, yes, I'll leave you with that picture there. Shocking, isn't it? So, it's them groups. It's the groups which got to me a bit, to be honest, if I can find it. Aha. Yeah. So hope not hate. Antifa, Just Stop Oil, Black Lives Matter, and Extinction Rebellion. Lots of people from those groups are going to be in attendance under the guise of the 1 million strong march, the pro-Palestine movement, and all of their left ideals as well. Oh, wow, you guys have been busy. BRECON, awesome moderator and a member and donating as well. You guys are awesome. Amazing. Yeah, if you can share the video, guys, seriously, I appreciate it. Simon, thanks for the super sticker. Owen Gray is a member. Thank you very much indeed. And Full of Hope, buy old dictionaries. They're rewriting them. Yes, I've got several myself, and you're absolutely right. You should watch Archaics if you don't already do so. That's cool. Thank you for that, by the way. And M. Terry Lane, thank you for that donation as well. Footprints as well. Oh, thank you so much. You, seriously, that's well kind. That's a member as well. Probably move more migrants into hotel scamptons while London's gone. Yes. Do you know what? That's a common thing. Everyone look over here. Well, this is happening. Yes. So if you're not going to the protest in London, still make sure that you know what's going on in your hood about all of this stuff going on. Big Daddy. Cheers to the Big Daddy, of course. What we got here? Also, SAS Emergency Training Officer, DSY, jumping out of helicopters in Swindon. Really? Okay. Check it out. Staying funky forever. Awesome. And footprints as well. And Big Daddy again. All right. Swindon tonight, large emergency exercise training. Oh, really? So that's in Swindon tonight. Yes, that's another thing to be mindful of. Every time there's like big events, there's always some sort of training exercise going on as well. So yeah, if you are in around London and there is a training exercise going along, try and record some of it. Okay, it might be useful as we move forward, because false flags always have that. Freedom fighter, they or a Trojan army. I think I know what you mean. We talked about that, and thank you for that donation as well. It's very cool. Oh, Shannon, thank you for that. Errants, yes, errants are awesome, and I think there's more errants in the house than we realise as well. What have we got here? Esma, thank you for that super sticker from over in America. But look at it, that's awesome. And Keith was saying, yeah, hit the like and share if possible. Yeah, really appreciate that. Seriously do. Oh, Ben as well, pleasure. Yes, if you're going, mate, just go careful, okay? Because like I say, from all of the the chatter online about tomorrow, if we can try and move away from the mainstream, because they're just goading, okay? I think we can all agree that the mainstream are fanning what is errant. David, Google is your friend. Errant. I don't have to explain, but just Google it. But yes, there's a lot of saber rattling. There's lots of fans being flamed by the mainstream. There's lots of groups. By looking into my research, looking at some of the chat groups which I found on Twitter, when you see what they're posting, absolutely they're all going. So all of the mass-funded and heavily controlled groups are all going to be in attendance tomorrow. And to throw flames on, sorry, to throw petrol on more of them flames, we are looking at football firms. Now, some people have been asking or hoping that football firms are going to go to protests or counter protest about things like migration, especially with things like tomorrow, the weekend. Lots of people have been saying, you know, when you see a protest, I mean, when you looked at the lockdown protest, what did you see people doing? They're getting their phones going like, yeah, look at that, I'm in a protest. Whee. Do you know what that is? Bullshit. That's what that is. Protests are literally, you are voicing your opinion. You are standing shoulder to shoulder with people who are on the same page. So if you're going to protest, the last thing you want to do is to spend all your time, energy, and effort photographing yourself with other protesters. What good does that actually do? That is not protesting. You are being a twat if you're going to do something like that. Because if you really want to make a difference, you're going to go there and be accounted for. You're not just going to go there, be a little snowflake taking pictures of yourself. That ain't going to change anything. It really, really isn't. And you go back into, Pamela Swan's having a laugh. But yeah, you go back into the days when protests used to be protests, when lots of protests were so heavy, changes were made. But all of the protests that have happened in the last 3 years, what's actually changed? Not much, really. But the main thing, which I'm going to just check on the poll, The poll has had 3,476 votes. Should protests be on Armistice Day? Yes or no? 82% said no. 18% said yes. There should be protests on Armistice Day. Well, this is a free country, I think, to an extent anyway. You're entitled to your opinion. And do you know why you're entitled to that opinion? It's because people gave their lives for our today back in the day. That's why you are allowed to have that freedom of expression. If you lived in China right now, do you think there would be any sort of votes or polls like that? Probably not. So please don't take what dwindling freedoms we have for granted. Because I'll tell you for this much, see that there? Yes, that symbol symbolizes a lot. And if you are a veteran and you are going to a service on Sunday, I hope and I pray that there's going to be no trouble, because the last thing anyone should ever witness is trouble on not just Armistice Day, but on Remembrance Day too. Now, when I read an article earlier at the start of the live stream that there's going to be 1,350, I believe, police officers attending the cenotaph on Sunday. So what does that tell you? That tells me that 1 million protesters are already in London tonight. Most of them probably coming first thing in the morning. Some of them are probably going to be staying over to do all sorts of weird and wonderful things leading over to Sunday. God forbid, if anything happens on Remembrance Sunday, I really think that could be a tipping point. How many times have you seen in social media since 2020? This is where we draw a line in the sand. How many frigging lines are going to be drawn and walked over? But let me tell you this, there's been so much public outburst and feeling about this weekend, so tomorrow and the day after, that I'll get the feeling so many people have had it up to here with government control, basically. Unelected, they're doing what they want. They don't care about us. They never have, they never will. Something needs to change. And forget about voting bloody Reform. Forget about voting bloody Labour. Forget about voting Liberal Democrats. Forget about any of them. I have never voted. Do you know why? Because I only vote for someone I can trust. So I already knew when I was 18 years old, when I was in the military, I already knew I'm not voting because I didn't trust anyone. Why the friggin' hell would you vote for someone you didn't trust? What does that make you? A goddamn lunatic. That's what it makes you. And if you want to vote all of these greedy, evil, bloody, lascivious, bloody, agenda-driven idiots and yes men into power, then you've only got yourself to blame. If you voted for any of this, what can you do? Well, I don't vote, like I said. In fact, I'm telling a lie. I voted once, and that is for Mr. Bean. Who remembers Mr. Bean? Yes. If anyone's been to Iran, I've been to Iran. He is one of the most popular guys in Iran, Mr. Bean. Go do a little Google search. It'll blow your mind. But yeah, all that being said, why would you vote for someone you do not trust? Do you trust Sadiq Khan, Mayor of London? Do you trust Rishi Sunak? Do you trust him? He's in power, though, apparently, yet he wasn't voted for. Apparently, I'm not sure how true it is, but the running in the polls about the Mayor of London, he is in front, Sadiq Khan. How the hell is that possible? It's like, how the hell in January that Donald Trump was no longer president, but that potato turned into a president. Absolutely stolen, absolute BS. Do you know what? When we look back on history, can you believe what happened at the White House in the inauguration, when all of that big area was sealed off? What a true free country America is. If any of you guys in America watching now believe you are free, no way. If it was free, you would be perfectly in your right to go walk up to that inauguration, but no, you weren't free at all because you was kept out of what really happened. It's astonishing what's going on there. Some of the laws I've seen in America, I can't believe. In some states in America, it is illegal to capture rainwater. How free are you? Really? Yes. In some states, you're not even allowed to grow your own food on your own land. That's not free. So I do get people in America say, you Brits, you know, you've given up your guns. You've got no freedom. Ha, ha, ha. Well, believe it or not, there is more guns here in the United Kingdom than you could ever believe. Yes, there is. You just don't see it all over the mainstream, but it is. There are so many guns in the UK. No. So we're not an unarmed race or a country. No way. You ask anyone who lives in the UK, right? You ask anyone. Apparently, it's illegal to have a gun in the UK. No. There's shotgun certificates. There's rifle licenses, etc. Even handguns, Section 5. You can have practically anything you want. All you need is authorization by the Home Office if you're going for Section 5. You can get most of the stuff up to that. So, no, the UK is not unarmed, but we are going to be... Oh, what's this? Mickey. What have we got? Ban warmonger Tony Blair. I couldn't agree more. Tony Blair, in my opinion, is one of the most corrupt, evil, and I don't even think he's human. He is definitely a psychopath or sociopath as well. He is definitely one evil entity. Tony Blair. Oh my God. Yeah, I agree. He should not be allowed anywhere near that place. Lisa, about the military compounds. Yeah, I agree. I think there are some. Whether all of them, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just going through the chat. What have we got here? Run to the woods. Careful, he's got a Nerf gun. You nutcase. You've been drinking again. Oh, crazy. So, what have we learned so far? We have learned that we're going to have to be extremely careful if we go to that trap tomorrow. And it is, I mean, you've only got to step back and look, right? Look at all of these groups. Look at all the oppositions. Look how much stuff. I mean, who read about that story of that para veteran, 78 years old, selling poppies up in Scotland, who was pushed over and kicked? Now, did that actually happen? I've heard reports that there's CCTV footage of that veteran walking away from the scene before it allegedly happened. There has been no quote from that 78-year-old veteran about his side of the story. There's nothing. I've looked everywhere. There's nothing. Usually, you would have mainstream media trying big time to try and contact him to get a statement, to sell more newspapers pretty much, but there's nothing. So did that really happen? Was that poppy seller pushed over and attacked that 78-year-old veteran paratrooper? Did that really happen? We have seen the Rochdale cenotaph being sprayed. Now, who's to know that that wasn't a rent-a-mob person in the middle of the night come down and do that just to stir up this hatred? And they knew full well that that post would, you know, circulate all over mainstream media. Like I said, if you guys, if some guys are in the know and they can pull strings, they know people in Meta, absolutely they can get someone to do something, to photograph it and make sure that gets suggested to as many people as possible, especially those sharing and uploading certain hashtags. You see how the algorithm works, how it's all connected. You search for certain things, or you upload certain things, certain hashtags that you use or you search for, you're going to be the guy or girl receiving these deep fake videos, photographs, anything that they know is going to rile you, because they know what your habits are. Because anyone who is on social media, me included, they basically look at what you say and what you look at. So they know how you think. They know that certain videos are going to provoke a reaction out of you. That's what you watching right now, they know how to push your buttons. Now, like me and Jason Bashir spoke about ages ago now, it's all about fear. When you start losing that fear, you become inerrant. You step out of the game. You don't take part in all this BS. But as an observer who's trying their best to record true historical data points, the sign of the times through these massive amounts of changes in the last 3 years, it's important. We need more people like me to do this. I can't do all this myself. That's why you guys who have donated have really, really helped, because if I had a research team and I got people to look into all of these things, but people that I trusted, people that I knew, okay, not just some random internet guy, but if there's people that I could trust, that they could spend lots of hours researching to provide me with information to save me. You know, I can't tell you how many hours a day I read and look at stuff trying to find out what's going on. It takes up all of my time. And like I said, because this is my job, thanks, Paul, for that donation on PayPal, bless you. Yes, so there are ways that you can help, believe it or not. There's certainly ways that you can help. Let me just see. But yes, before all of this come to light, since the attacks that happened in Israel a few weeks ago now, there's been protests every single Saturday in central London. And I know some other cities had it as well, but London is where it's at. That's got the biggest population. That's where the biggest problems are happening. Who saw this right next to the cenotaph? Now, what we're looking at here is they set up a great big stage for a pro-Palestinian protest right next to the cenotaph. Now, if that's not inflammatory, I do not know what is. It's things like that which will get under people's skin to rile them, to make them angry. And when people are angry, they become unpredictable. Only very few know how to channel their anger for good. Not many people get it. So unfortunately, some people fall into that fear trap and then find themselves a bit of a loose cannon, find themselves full of rage and hatred as they're typing in a comment, because what they are seeing absolutely challenges everything that they stand for. Okay. So, like I said, I spoke about 50 centers. The guys who are around in China years ago, they are paid by the Chinese government to leave counter comments for anyone who is in disagreement with how government works, pretty much. Okay, so we are absolutely going to be seeing that for sure. So I'm just reading Small Man Syndrome, Forrest Wright. What's that about? Small Man Syndrome. Is that about the ULEZ guy? Because he's small, isn't he? Yeah, Rachel's got it spot on. Yeah, press our buttons and watch us go. It's all manipulation. That's exactly it. Rachel's nailed it again. Another cool moderator. That's exactly it. They know what you look at on social media. They know what you search for. They know the people who are interacting with you. They know if they are part of any groups, etc. They know exactly how you think, and they can hone that perception in more by how long it takes you to react after you have been privy to certain pieces of information, pictures, and or videos. So if you see something and you react instantly, and you react in a way which is upsetting, violent, anger, not helpful, the quicker that happens, they know that they're pushing your buttons, and they just love pushing your buttons. So what can we learn from that? Don't let them push your buttons. Yeah. If you see anything on social media that really winds you up, that really makes you angry, do you know the best thing to do? Don't do anything. Because if you decide to put your valuable energy into something so negative and so low and so crap, then what's happening? You've got a level of evil darkness, you've got a level of light stuff. Okay. So the more energy that you give from your light gets dimmer, and their energy, their bad evil energy, gets more. So if you want evil to carry on being evil, yeah, just keep putting your good energy towards them and watch them grow, because it's happening, guys. The second you start saying no, the second you stop complying, the second you don't allow yourself to get upset or triggered, the better. The more triggered you get, the more asleep you are. I don't care what you say about how awake or aware you think you are. If you allow yourself, that's you watching right now, you are in control of your thoughts and emotions. No one else. You have the final say of how what that information is going to affect you. You've got no one else to blame but yourself. If you allow yourself to get wound up and triggered and lash out, that's your fault. Don't give them your energy. Don't. Do you know the amount of... I started my YouTube channel in 2012, right? The amount of trolls and people who hate me is off the charts. It's insane. And do you know how it affects me? No. It did at first because it's new to me. Now, the more my channel grew, the more subscribers that I had, the more trolls, idiots, haters, attackers, whatever, started popping up from all over the place. So a bit of advice, if you are thinking of creating a YouTube channel, just remember these very, very good words of advice. The more subscribers you get, the more people are actually going to hate you. They are going to give you death threats. I've had death threats. I've had members of my family threatened. I've had all of that over the years. If you can't handle any of that, please do not start a YouTube channel. You need to grow a thick skin. You need to grow a great big, huge pair of balls, and you need to lose the fear, and you need to say what you want to say, as long as it's respectful and it's hopefully going to be helping other people learn, grow, not be triggered, be good people, and they will find their path, and everything good will happen to them, and their lives will change for the better. The more that we can do that, the better. Yeah, someone's just nailed it there. Do you know, it's really hard to read these comments. Someone said about triggered. It's gone. Freaking chat's just too fast. So yes, that's my advice. Don't allow yourself to be triggered. Okay. If it winds you up, leave it. Do you know what? The amount of times that I would type in this big rant and I'm just about to go post and I'll delete it all. And I'm like, I thought, bloody hell, what just happened? Right, step back, stop, analyze what's happened. I just saw a post. It really, really got to me. It wound me up so much that I wanted to retaliate or lower my vibration and become one of them, an arsehole, if you will. And I said, why did I allow myself to feel stressed? Why did I allow myself to feel upset? I'm in charge of me. And surely, if something is going to upset me, I have that power to recognize very, very early on, no, it's not going to upset me. When you get to that level of awareness, you're losing the fear. Trust me, you walk into a room full of people and you've got no fear at all, and you are true, you are honest, you are growing, learning as an individual as much as you can to navigate yourself around this bullshit. But No matter how poor you are, I still help people. I still give people money. I still give more than I receive. The more that you do that, you walk into a room, it's like everyone in that room looks to you. Everyone in that room is gravitated towards you. You are giving off this energy, which no one can see, but they can feel it, and they will come to you. It's incredible. When you lose the fear, people know, they feel. When you are easily manipulated, when you're triggered, when you rant all the time, when you put post up and you're like seething at the bloody teeth, you're letting people know that you're not totally aware yet. You're letting people know that this is me being triggered. This is me working through my issues, etc. This is me doing my self work. I'm nowhere near fixed yet. I'm still projecting out, as they call it. Okay. So lots of people really start to need looking inside themselves. They need to start looking inside because, like I said, as soon as you're 18, legally, that's right, you are responsible for yourself. No matter what happens in your life, no matter how bad or how hard or how good it is, it's all down to you. You are in control. If you want to be triggered, if you want to be angry and stressed out, if you love feeling like that, absolutely. Fall for their game and take part in the great frigging episode of Clown World, if it makes you feel good. Personally, I like feeling happy. I like feeling relaxed. I don't like being stressed and angry. I can't stand that. So I do what I feel I need to do to just don't take part. Just say no. No. 2 letters. Really small word. No. So you see a comment come up on Instagram or Twitter or freaking WhatsApp or whatever it is, and it really like, Christ, that's really got me going. Just go past, forget about it. Things aren't good. All of a sudden, the more that you do that, before you go to bed, just say to yourself, how many times was I wound up today? How many times did I allow myself to fall for it and get triggered and get all angry and mean and bitter and nasty? How many times? And you could probably work out 4, 5, 10, 20 times, whatever it is. And you just say to yourself, I said, next time, I'm not going to allow that to happen. Next time, I'm not going to give it any energy at all. I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm not going to feed that evil, dark, low, horrible, negative, bad, shitty energy. I'm not going to. I'm not going to fuel it. I'm not going to give my very, very strong, powerful, good, honest light towards that evil, crappy, low vibrational BS, fear porn, whatever. I'm not going to feed it. So the more people start realizing that, the better, because can you imagine, right, all of the mainstream putting out all of this doom and gloom and made up bull crap and deep fake whatever, if people just didn't watch it, see if their views went right down, they're going to know that they're screwed, because the more people that watch mainstream media, the more power they have, the more power and energy that you're giving towards mainstream media, making it bigger, powerful and stronger. My advice is turn off the telly. I haven't watched TV in years. There's a telly in the background there. All that goes on there is YouTube on your DVD. The total amount of hours that telly's on is probably about 3 hours a month, if that. Sometimes I don't even have it on for months. I know there's people out there that spend 8, 9 hours every single day watching that crap on that television. Well, do yourself a big fat favor, turn the thing off. Don't allow all that fear crap to get into your head. If you ever wonder why there's so many violent films out there, have you ever wondered why they're trying to desensitize children playing violent computer games? Yeah. Oh, it's only a film. That won't happen. Oh, it's only a computer game. No, it's not real. And they think it's really good fun blowing someone's head off. Well, how would that person feel if all of a sudden someone right in front of them got their head blown off for real? What do you think would happen? Exactly. They're trying to desensitize people with violence. We are going to see real violence tomorrow. And God forbid, hopefully not on Sunday. That would seriously throw the cat amongst the pigeons if they tried on crap on Sunday. Gee whiz. Oh, let me just see. Right, I've gone on for far too long. I've been on here for nearly 2 hours. This is my Friday. I need to chill out and have some more of my beverage here. So yeah, that's my advice. Try not to allow yourself to be triggered. If it feels bad, your intuition, don't give any energy towards it. Don't. Because the more energy you give to bad stuff, the bigger the bad stuff gets. And if you want the world to be a good place, only put out good stuff. So, oh, bless you. That's awesome. We got a donation from Kay. And indeed, footprints again. Oh, my God. The powers at be, I reckon that's powers that be, love loosh energy. Oh, man. I think I know what you mean. Fair play, and thanks for that. And, oh, we got a new member. John Lee. Welcome, John. You are in good hands, sir. We have got over 114 members now. That's insane. So, all of you guys who have donated to help this channel grow, I really appreciate it. Like I say, it's my full-time job. I ain't got anyone else. I'm trying my best to get all of this good stuff out there to help people, because the last thing I want is any prepper going to be caught up in that crap in London tomorrow and end up in a really bad way. If I can prevent any of that happening, I've done my job. Tomorrow is a trap, right? It is a trap. And they are fanning the bloody flames like crazy to get as many people in there with all of, what, 2,000 riot police. Wow. What do you think is going to happen? A nice peaceful protest with 3 arrests. If you really believe that, you've lost your mind. You've lost your mind to the powers that be a-holes. That's what you've done. It's crazy. Jen, oh, bless you, don't have to do that. You guys are awesome. So yes, every single one of you, there's been over 2,000 tonight. I really appreciate your time spending it here on the show, chatting amongst friends, and this community is growing. We got nearly 3,000 people in the last 28 days join this channel, and we've had new members, even a new one join tonight as well. So we are growing, but we can only grow at the rate we want to grow is if you can, please share the link to this video. Facebook is huge. I'm not on Facebook, so I've got no voice on Facebook. WhatsApp, I know people go on WhatsApp groups, and Telegram's supposed to be big as well. So if you can, I really appreciate it if you shared the link to this video to groups and members and friends, family, work colleagues, whatever, because believe it or not, more people are waking up than you probably realize. Fact. I really do believe so many people are becoming aware to this BS. You can only smell this stuff for so long and then start going, do you know what? That's BS. Yes, it is. Welcome to the club. Everyone wakes up whenever they need to wake up. Not everyone will. Try not to lose your valuable energy trying to wake others up. Just drop little seeds. Give them something to think about. All we're trying to do is to get people to question things. How you go about doing that is entirely up to you. As a human being, you are excellent at creating whatever you want. Create something which you think is going to help someone question something. Try and maybe focus on something that's topical. Current affairs of the day or the week. Speak to people in supermarkets, petrol stations, down the high street, whatever it is. Don't be afraid. Just go out and talk to people. Plant seeds. Get them to start questioning things. Don't start going up to people, ranting and raving, saying the government's this, the government's that, 9/11 was fake, whatever. It's not going to work. Be more tactful. Drop little seeds. So everyone who's taking part in the live stream tonight, I really appreciate your time. And if you're watching this on a replay and you've got all the way to here, I can only thank you loads, because that's amazing. You guys, what? Have a drink on me, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you ever so much indeed. John Lee David Blackshaw, and a member as well. That is an honor. I really appreciate that, John. Seriously, thank you very much. So, yes, like I was saying, everyone who's watched this on the replay and you've made a comment under the video, really, really appreciate that. And if you want to, like I said, you can always send me an email about all of the things we've spoken about tonight. Now, I really do hope that nothing really bad happens tomorrow, okay? Because there are going to be veterans around in London, okay? Now, a veteran could be of any age. It could be 25, it could be 95, and everything in between, okay? Veterans are really special people. Without veterans, we would be living in China right now. Let that sink in, okay? Now, I really hope that no harm comes to any veterans over this weekend. I seriously hope nothing happens like that, because if it does, that is really going to anger so many people, and that could, like I said, it might even start a civil war. It might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, which obviously that's what they ultimately want. They want people so wound up that they're going to fight each other, and they're going to say, well, we can't have this. Right, from now on, no more protesting. You lot can't be trusted. No more protest. Then you won't have an avenue to vent your steam. And it's essential that human beings vent steam. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to shout, shout. It's fine. You're a human. You're allowed to. Okay? But when you start removing those freedoms, you can't protest because tomorrow could be so frigging barbaric, then we are going to see big, big issues. And no one wants to see the big issues. Seriously, seriously don't. Come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. Okay, thanks for that. Very true. Very, very true. It is. It's a big trap. So my advice, don't go. Don't go. It's a trap. You're going to be used by mainstream media to promote the agenda that anyone disagrees with what's going on with these marches and whatever government says is a right-wing extremist. But I'm here to tell you that you're not. Right-wing extremist has got nothing to do with going against what the government's doing. That is, by definition, not right-wing. So, all of the moderators, thank you so much for policing the chat, because I do know that there's going to be idiots out there. There's going to be people who say things to upset our friends in the community. And I've spent a long time building this community, and the last thing I want is people in the chat being a dick. So that's why I've got some really good moderators in there, and I'm telling all of you moderators, if there's any whiff of anyone being disrespectful, inflammatory, or just plain dickhead wrong, stick them in a timeout straight away. And if they continue, put them in another timeout. And if they still continue, ban them, block them. They get 2 chances, 2 bites of the cherry. And if they still a dick, block them, ban them. I don't care. I have blocked thousands of people from my YouTube channel since 2012. I ain't got time for their low energy BS. They're just like, block, see you later, whatever. You know, go and project onto someone else, mate, because I'm too busy growing and thriving here. So let's pray that this weekend goes without hitch. We do not want violence or trouble. It's the last thing we want. Don't forget, we've got veterans there. They don't need none of this. They've seen enough stuff without all of this crap. So thank you ever so much, you guys, for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up on the way out. It really helps. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the notification bell. And please share this video. I can't say it enough. Copy the link. Share it. Bang. It really helps. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. Stay funky.